Today's the last day of the year. So tonight we're going to have a New Year's Eve countdown at the event plaza. Come party with us. Okay. Hello, everyone. First order of business is let's change that hat. It is not Christmas anymore. I'm going to change that bad boy. Hat should we wear? Purple, violet, Hickman, Harmon, Samus. You know what? We're going to wear the Samus hat in celebration of Prime 4. Bam. 12-hour stream? Hell no. You know I ain't got the patience for a 12-hour stream. Are you insanity? I couldn't do a 12-hour stream if I wanted to. I have way too many obligations and responsibilities today. I still got to run to town and do shit. My nephew's computer back here. Something's wrong with my nephew's computer. It won't power on. My dad took it somewhere to have it looked at by a scammer. Piece of shit. So I'm going to do it. Tyler's even going to video call me later and we're going to see if we can't figure it out. The guy did test the power supply though and said the power supply works fine. And he tried another power supply in it. You did a 10-hour stream last year? Damn. Who's the scammer? Just a local place here. It's a terrible business. They're a real piece of shit. Everybody hates them. Everybody hates them. But they're the only electronics repair store in town. But the problem is they're really, really shitty. I remember years ago I went to them to buy a copy of Windows back when Windows was still like disk-based. And I said, well, I need a copy of Windows 10. Well, can you sell it to me? Or it may have even been Windows 7, but I want to say it was 10. And she sold me a 2-disc thing of Windows. And I got home to install Windows on my computer. And it was the upgrade disc to Windows 10. And I said, no, I need the actual installation disk for a fresh install of Windows. She's like, sorry, no refunds. Bitch, you fucked up and sold me the wrong thing. Yeah, disk-based Windows. Yeah, that's how we used to do it. Hey, at least Windows 11 was free. It might be shitty and I don't like it, but at least it was free. Everything is switching to a paid subscription thing now. So they'll give you a base thing for free, but then make you pay for it forever. Windows 11 is ass. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Now, I do not like the subscription-based shit. Companies have discovered that they can wring us out of every penny by everything being a subscription fee. That's like when I started using CapCut, it was free. I was like, yay, I finally have editing software that's not too over my head that I can use. And then after using it for a few months, they switched to a subscription model where you have to pay for it. Bye. But no, I'm not paying monthly for anything that I don't have. Like, we pay monthly for our utilities, our water, our electricity, internet, and stuff like that. I'm not paying companies. No. I have to eat shit and pay Nintendo a yearly fee as it is to access Nintendo online. which that may be coming to a close. It depends. I've soured on Nintendo so much. They're lucky they're getting my business anymore. But let's not spend the whole day bitching. That's the kind of shit I'm trying to get away from next year. Yeah, I got a lot to do today. I gotta do the Patreon stream later this evening too. God, my voice has really been struggling lately. I'm not sick or anything, it's just struggling. I don't know why. Yeah, see, if they do that, buy Windows permanently. Goodbye. It's freemium, which is already a scam. South Park has covered this at length. Woo, you getting your micro SD today. Express micro SD. Well, like I told you guys before, I bought this it's an official Nintendo Wii remote. Nintendo branded. It's not a knockoff. And I got it to sync up to the computer and I can use it on Dolphin. But the problem is it's an older Wii remote that doesn't have the Motion Plus built in. And I don't have the Motion Plus dongle. So when I try to get the cursor on screen, it's real jittery and broken. So after I did some Googling and some reading on Reddit, turns out I might as well just buy the sensor bar and get it over with. So I bought the sensor bar that the internet says goes really well with the Dolphin emulator. And when that comes, it should be here over the weekend. So maybe when we get it in, it's supposed to come in Saturday. So maybe that afternoon we could do Animal Crossing. I don't know. It all depends. It'll be here in a year. Well, I had Tyler order it, and then I just Venmo'd him the money because he has Amazon Prime. Oh, if it takes more than a week to get here through Amazon Prime, we got a problem. You know, we have a big problem. My money run, my pockets are full. I forgot to put that other hat away, didn't I? No, I did. My pockets are full of nonsense. I got pockets full of. See me play Wii Bowling and Wii Boxing. Well, I'm going to as soon as I can. As soon as... Oh, God damn it. Well, I mean, the sensor bar wasn't made by Nintendo. The one I bought may fly something or another. It's what Reddit recommended you use with Dolphin. So that's the one it was like $30 for that damn thing. So, oh, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you if it's better. It's just the proprietary sensor bar that comes with the Wii. The tip is specialized, so it's not a USB tip. You can't plug it into your computer. So you have to buy like an off-brand sensor bar to be able to plug it up to your computer. But if I do start Animal Crossing City Folk, it won't mean that I'm abandoning New Leaf. I'll do both games. But honestly, I really don't have any intentions of starting any Wii games immediately. We might play around with Wii Sports because I do really want to play that. But this is more like a long-term setup so that, you know, later down the road when I want to play Wii games proper on stream, we can. You know, it's not something I intend to do immediately. But Did you give up on New Horizons? No, New Horizons is more or less finished. I did everything you could possibly do. I filled out the museum's 100% complete. We caught everything, every fish, every bug. We got every painting, every statue. That playthrough ran for a while, and my town went through many different renovations, and we went through a ton of different villagers moving in and out. I don't know. I just felt like we needed to play one of the older ones that, you know, we hadn't, because I did the GameCube Animal Crossing back in the day. And then I had to reinstall Windows, only to find out that at the time, Dolphin was saving all the saves to the Windows hard drive and not the backup hard drive. Which the backup hard drive is where the emulator and ROMs are stored, so duh. Don't know why it's designed that way, because that's fucking stupid. But I lost my GameCube save file. So I immediately, you know, jumped on New Horizons when it came out. Because all that happened not too long before New Horizons came out anyway. That was like late 2019, early 2020, when the GameCube Animal Crossing playthrough came to an end on the channel. And then we played New Horizons for like a full, 2 years, give or take, if not 3. And here we are. The Spinosaurus is complete. Wii Fitness? I don't know. I don't really. I'd have to get like that that ad they made, and I don't feel like going through all that. No. Nah, I probably won't fool with Wii Fitness. And it really has nothing to do with being fat or being lazy. I really just don't feel like dealing with fighting with the motion controls and stuff. Just Dance too. Just Dance, I would probably get copyright claimed into oblivion. They would probably straight up block the video. But no, I have no interest in that either. Even if we could get away with the copyright, I never played the Just Dance games. I don't really care. My fat ass ain't gonna get up in here and start jumping around and moving around and swinging my arms. Nah, we're not doing that. That's ridiculous. Did your knees give out trying? No, I don't think my knees would give out. I don't want to do it. It's part laziness, part I don't want to look like an idiot. Also part I just don't care about those games. Would my knees give out? I'm not 80. Oh, look, the crane game. Neapolitan. Well, hold on, let me check my notebook. See if we have Neapolitan. Yes, that is a repeat. You son of a bitch. You goddamn bitch. I hit B. Ooh. My controller's lagging too. Call of Duty World at War. Well, now you're just being ridiculous. Call of Duty. Do I look like I play Call of Duty to you? Do I look like a Call of Duty person? Well, what did Timmy do? Like Tommy, but not Timmy? Well, what the hell did Timmy do? Oh, Tommy. I read that wrong. My bad. Oh, my pockets are full. Well, my pockets wouldn't be full if you hadn't stolen me that stupid music disc that I didn't want. You son of a bitch. Prime phase sniping? I have no idea what that even means. What is FAZE? I don't know what that. What? What means FAZE? That hurt you? Well, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't play shooting games. It hurt you? What is phase? We want to know. I got a lot of bullshit here you can buy. You can have this modern cabinet too. I just needed it to be in my catalog. I made some of my money back. I had to bring my other chair back in here. I did not like that new chair. It was too big. I sat too far back away from the keyboard. Nah. I'm never going to turn my back on the best chair again. This chair is the best chair in all of existence. I cannot lose it. Call of Duty sniping group. What is a sniping group? Like it's just a group of guys who exclusively use sniper rifles in Call of Duty? Oh, it's esports. Okay, well, you should have just said that. Yeah, I don't know dick about esports. Oh yeah, by the way, since Gray Griffineer is here, I was just telling you yesterday that I bought this Wii remote. And you had said, don't I need a sensor bar? Technically, no. You can set it up under Dolphin to where you can point at the screen still, but it's bad. It's real bad. It's broken as shit. You need a Wii remote that has motion plus, or just buy a sensor bar. I ordered one on Amazon. I Venmo'd Tyler the money and had him order it. Should be here Saturday. I got the one that they recommended on Reddit that is like officially made specifically to go with the Dolphin emulator, as I've been led to believe. And so we should be able to play Wii games properly now. So, yay. We're so close to a bingo. We're going to have to build another snowman and see if we can get there. Louis is here too. Oh, we got everybody here today. You might have a motion plus around there somewhere. I doubt it. How would you have held on to one for that long? The underpants gnomes probably done took it away. Okay. Let me think for a minute. We finished our latest town project, which was a bench. I think I've dug up all the fossils we're going to find today. Yeah, I don't think we're going to find anything else. Okay. Next order of business. Let's let Isabel know that the project is complete. Snowball! Please don't let me knock it in the water. Please don't let me lose it. There's such trouble to get started. I'm going to leave you right there. Hopefully a dung beetle doesn't take off with you. Oh, god damn it. There's an event in the plaza, so we can't go into the town hall. No. But we're not setting up any new town projects today. Hello, love. I'll be here all day. Why do I think Isabel is British? Not all of the villagers come across as British to me. They really either come across as Japanese or, you know, like American English. But for some reason, Isabel comes across as British. A tyrannical system in the Animal Crossing towns. I mean, what purpose would it serve? It might be funny for a day, but... Oh, she gave me sparkling cider. All right, everybody, toast. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. He said I'm looking nice while I'm wearing a full-ass biker helmet where you can't see my face. The shade of it all. You know, I'm not going to bother with you today. Yeah, could I buy the stuff and keep planting? Yeah, I could, but I don't feel like it. I can't be bothered. I'm specifically looking for new stuff. New furniture, new clothes. It's winter and I don't feel like dealing with gardening right now. Besides, I planted as many cedar trees that'll fit. I really need the regular oak saplings, if I'm being honest. The afro. Do I have? I don't know if I bought this yet. Should I? It looked funny. Yeah, I wonder what we'll see in the next Animal Crossing. That's going to be wild. Because with Nintendo, they like to add a gimmick. They like each game to have something that the previous entry didn't have. Well, a lot of times it's tied to the hardware. So like the Wii was motion controls, the DS was touchscreen and dual screened, and the 3DS had 3D, and there's always some sort of gimmick that goes with their consoles now. Instead of just, oh, look, a shiny new console. Put your cartridge in and let's go. Now it's got to have a gimmick. Hey, there's our snowball. And they really kind of took New Horizons in a whole new direction with the crafting and breakable tools and stuff. So I'm really curious to know what they're going to add in the next Animal Crossing. Like, how could they expand it even further? Because it's pretty expensive at the moment. Granted, it's not exactly like The Sims or not exactly Harvest Moon. It is really doing its own thing at the end of the day. But I can't wait to see what they implement next. Although, mind you, I was not the biggest fan in the world of the crafting. Like, we have Minecraft. But I will say this too. Oh, we made a snow woman. We made a snowman. Oh, hell yeah. I've never made a snowman before. Ooh. Well, it needs to be snowing before I can catch. That's the first time I've ever made a snowman. I've also never thought of calling a female snowman a snowman. That's cool. Yeah. Hey, Biscuit. Well, what time are they doing the countdown in Animal Crossing? Do they do it literally at midnight or they do it earlier? Yeah, it's all about the proportions. I think this might have been the first game where you could make something other than a regular snowman. Originally, all you could make were snowmen. And then I think with either Wild World or this entry, the snowman became a bingo game. But at some point, they added the full-on family. Like you could build a snowman, snow woman, a snow kid or child or whatever. I've never built the snowman before, so that was fun. That made my day. And we found another fossil after I clearly said we would find another fossil. Son of a bitch. New Horizons, they stripped away the snow family. Did they? I don't remember. You called me mayor, bro. Traffic signal? Why do we need a traffic signal? We don't even have cars here. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you have to water like every single flower every single day. It may be just random when they wilt. I don't know. I know that, yeah, when you water them, it keeps them from wilting, but like, I don't play this every day to be worrying about the watering the flowers. If I see one wilting, I'll water it, but that's about the best I'm gonna do. Yeah, you would have to really expand Animal Crossing, though, to be able to put cars in there, you know? Because every Animal Crossing town is like a very tightly knit, confined space full of trees. Because think about it, like in Japan, the name of the game or the name of the series is Animal Forest. So it's meant to be this quaint little village off in the woods, you know? Ooh, a rideable bicycle would be nice. Something, anything, I don't know. The closest we got were the Animal Crossing characters being added to Mario Kart. There's that. Ew. Shark Tooth. Yeah, you do get a whole ass island. And New Horizons. Oh, so the Shark Tooth is a repeat. Oh. Oh, shit. I've been sleeping pretty well now, you know, for the past couple of weeks. Last night was rough, though. I went to bed around 10 p.m., woke up around midnight. Just absolutely starving. I ate me a little bowl of cereal and went back to sleep. I hate it. I really hate it. And I guess we'll sell this extra music album. None of the villagers are going to ping me and want it. I was hoping if we ran around, a villager would see me and want it. I don't think that's going to happen. Well, we have nearly 30K. What cereal was it? Some sort of like the Chex, but honey, like the Honey Nut Cheerios version of Chex. It was really good. I do love honey. You know what we could do? Since this is something we never really do. Get my controller again. No, not Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oddly enough, despite loving cinnamon, I don't really like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Something about it is too much cinnamon. Maybe if they went a little easier with the cinnamon, but it's too much. Like most cereals, it's too sugary. We've had canceled. I know. Oh, believe me, I know. I didn't even make a dent in what we owe. Oof. Oofy, oof, oof, oof. Hey, I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's just too much cinnamon in each bite. It's they overdo it. Less is more. Less is more. God damn it. Really? I guess it doesn't need to be snowing to find a snowflake. Okay. See if we could find more. We need 5. Well, now we need 4. I'm so tired. Those mole crickets are stupid loud, and they're underground. Hey, bagworm. Oh, wait, I forgot. The game still isn't telling me when the countdown is. I mean, assumedly midnight, right? Like, started a couple of minutes before midnight at 11:50, whatever. But here's the thing, with it being an Animal Crossing Nintendo game, you know, does it start maybe a little earlier to compensate for a lot of people going to bed? I don't know. I know that I've done the New Year's thing on Animal Crossing before, a handful of times in the past, and I want to say it is at midnight. It wouldn't make sense not to be at midnight. Countdown is right now. I mean, technically, yes, but I think Isabel has like a thing planned. So even though the clock is technically counting down, well, 11 hours and it's 12:43. Okay, yeah. I guess it is midnight. I answered my own. I'm just being stupid. It's on real time, yeah. I ain't buying shit from you, scam artist. Well, I don't know. My working theory was everybody keeps talking about how Nintendo games are made for children and children aren't going to stay up to midnight. Well, they shouldn't, but there's a lot of irresponsible parents out there. Well, you're supposed to stay up all night? I guess. I ain't staying up tonight, that's for damn sure. I'm going to bed at 10 p.m. And I don't know if 10 p.m. is going to be my new permanent bedtime, but it's currently my bedtime. You know, again, it's part of my New Year's resolution to switch from nights to days. I want to be on days now. So I've done the stay up all night thing now for a couple of decades, and I'm over it. I really, really, really want to. I miss the sun. I'm not gonna lie. I miss the blue sky. I'm not gonna lie. I tell you what's really weird as far as the human psyche is concerned. I've spent, again, nearly 20 years staying up all night, sleeping all day, rarely ever getting any sun. The only sun I ever really got was like summertime evening sun. So what's funny is anytime that I rotate my sleep back around and I'm up days, the world looks really alien to me. It really, because I'm used to black skies. I'm used to it being dark everywhere and my field of vision being limited because it's nighttime. So being able to see really far, everything being illuminated by the sun, and being able to see the blue sky, since I've done that stay up all night thing for so many years now, it is so weird. It is so weird. I've done irreparable damage, I fear, to my brain. I really have not taken care of myself over the years. How bizarre is that for a human being born and raised on Earth to go outside during the day and be like, what is this? I don't recognize this place. It is. It's very odd to me. You don't want to celebrate the New Year's? No and no. My family and I, we get along so much as in we have to live under the same roof, but they're not my first choice of who to hang out with. Put it that way. And no, I don't really have any friends. I mean, I got a couple of friends IRL, but I don't go anywhere. I don't go to bars because I don't drink. I also have social anxiety and I just hate people. So I got nowhere to go to be doing a midnight celebrate our New Year's celebration. And, bad terms with my family. No, it's not that I'm on bad terms with my family. It's just that I mean, it's your family. I'm not really close with them. I get that some families are tight, but I'm not really with mine. I'm also extremely emotionally, like, closed off in general. I'm, I blab a lot about myself on this show, but IRL, I don't get like emotional and sappy with people IRL. I don't know. That's a whole thing. I ain't talking about that. Just short answer, no. I ain't doing anything for New Year's. I mean, it's New Year's. It's like whoop-de-doo, you know? And two, you know, the older you get, it's not that you get sick necessarily of holidays and annual anniversaries of various things, but at a certain point, you just kind of like, yeah, it's that time of year again. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean? What is this, my 40th New Year? I don't know. Also, there's this to consider too. Everything sucks right now. I don't know that I'm ready to celebrate the coming of a new year. It's probably going to be just as ass as the last handful. God damn it! I said X, not Y. Maybe 2026 will be better. God, I hope so. I hope so. It has to be, right? And then you're hesitant to say it can't get worse because then for out of spite, the universe will be like, hold my beer. Oh, yeah? You say it can't get worse? Is that what I'm hearing? Well, no, let me just assure you right now, you can hang that in the wind. Like I said the other day, and I don't know what game we were streaming when I said this, but I do remember saying this. Things are moving away from movies and more into television. TV shows look really good now. They look like movies look. So now, you know, COVID really changed a lot of people's perspectives too, because a lot of folks now would rather sit at home and watch stuff on streaming or whatever than to load up in the car, go to the theater, pay exorbitant prices, buy a whole bunch of bullshit popcorn and candy and food, deal with screaming babies because fucking trash bag humans want to take a goddamn fetus to a movie theater for some reason. And then you got the hoodlum teenagers who are kicking and screaming and acting a fool, and it's just... You got to go out and deal with people. You got to go out and deal with the general public. You don't like how TV episodes are an hour long now? Well, in my experience, the ones that are an hour long on old television, yeah, it used to be hit or miss. Shows that are on streaming now that are an hour long are pretty good. The thing is, you got to find a show. It's like with any book, really. You just got to find something that you find interesting. I really wouldn't watch something just because everybody else is watching it. What the hell is Clayface? Do I know what Clayface is? What is Clayface? Let's go sell some stuff. Well, that would be why I don't know what that is then. Because by the time you finish 2 episodes half the day, well, that's why you don't watch them all in one day. Watch one a day or something. Good God Almighty. You gave me a lot of money. And we found 2. See if we can find a 3rd. Well, it's like I've been saying for a long time now, comic book fatigue has really set in and people are sick of comic book movies. Now that's the majority. There's still a handful in the minority who are super fans who are going to go see that shit. But as movie theaters are on the decline and they're making less and less money and streaming is making more and more money, then hopefully Netflix has learned its lesson too. Canceling shows left and right too early without properly finishing them. So I don't know. I don't think they will. I mean, it took them 10 years to make 5 seasons of Stranger Things, and the quality just kept dipping each new season that came out. And while I do somewhat like season 5, it is so bad and riddled with issues. A lot of nothing happens. So far, the first 7 episodes of season 5 of Stranger Things are just everybody standing around in a circle talking about Vecna, 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 Vecna. It's driving me totally insane. It's so bad. It's so incredibly bad. There were a few things I liked. I love the fact that, and this is going to be spoilers, by the way, everybody, for Stranger Things season 5. So mute or turn away. But the fact that Will, can kind of dial in and access Vecna's powers and do what Elle does, that was nice. His coming out moment was nice. Those are the 2 things I've liked so far. But the show it's not even that it's a slow paced season, but if you look under the hood, it's very slow because everybody's just standing around and I'm so bored. I'm bored out of my goddamn mind because the dialogue's not great. It's just everybody standing around talking about Vecna ad nauseum, and I'm so over it. There shouldn't have been the number of gaps in between each season. And honestly, a lot of those seasons just kind of weren't it anyway. They just felt padded and thrown out, and I don't know. It never looked interesting. It had a lot of potential, and they dropped the ball with it. Like I told Tyler not too long ago, we were talking about it on the phone. With Stranger Things, it started off really, really good, and it went really well for the first season or so. And then it just completely lost its own plot. And it took so long to produce it. I can't remember what happened from one season to another. And like everything that happened in seasons 3 and 4 didn't need to happen. It was the most padding of padding. And I just found out today that they were going to do an anthology series. Like every season was going to be new cast, new story. But after season 1 became such a cultural phenomenon and everybody fell in love with those characters and those actors, they were like, okay, well, we need to milk this and bring these characters and these actors back so we can really make money. It's like with Squid Game. Squid Game was such a huge, gigantic cultural phenomenon. And season 1 was some of the best thing I've ever seen. Or so, at least some of the best television I've seen in a while. But season 2 was a little less interesting. And by the time you got to season 3, I just wanted it to end. I just wanted it to be done. So there is a reasonable shelf life to everything. Every IP has a reasonable shelf life. And as long as it's making money, the creators will never allow it to end when it's supposed to end. They'll just keep abusing the material because it's making money. And then 2, because we live in a nightmare dystopian world, everybody keeps, just buying things, just trinkets, little toys. They basically have found a way to monetize our nostalgia. They've taken our memories from the 80s and 90s and they package it and they want to sell it. So they slap it on every piece of merchandise that they can. They bring it back and make a new show or a new movie out of it. And it's never as good as it used to be. Number 1, because you either don't have the original people, or number 2, it was lightning in a bottle to begin with. And number 3, you're older now. So your perception of new material based on the thing you once loved is just not going to be as great. So these legacy projects really need to die. You just need to stop. Like, I really like Ghostbusters from 1984. Ghostbusters 2 was okay. I like it because of what it wasn't and what it is and what it could have been. But like the 2 Ghostbuster movies they've made in recent years were both pretty awful. And especially that 2016 Ghostbusters film, that was just an unmitigated nightmare. And they really should be ashamed of themselves for that. But even my beloved dinosaurs, you're 7 movies in at this point. Really might be time to stop They're not going to. And bless its little heart, Star Wars is. They dug that corpse up and kept fucking it. But I'm going through that in my own personal life too right now. It's, you know, I grew up with all of these, you know, IPs that I love so much, but they're not translating well in the 2020s. And then I'm struggling really, like, this has been this biggest struggle of my life recently, is dealing with like negativity. We'll stand next to the snowman while we chat. But that's like unbridled, non-stop, in-your-face negativity is a turnoff, not only in person in real life, but especially as a content creator. You know, if you're trying to make videos, do streams, whatever, is if you're just like whining, bitching, moaning, and complaining about everything all the time, people aren't going to want to have anything to do with you or what you're doing. They're going to be so uninterested in what you're doing. And I've known that forever. It's just a no-duh thing. You know, it's common sense. But it's really hard to break that habit. And it becomes exceedingly hard and exceptionally hard to do when you know that it's not 100% just your own cynicism. It's, like I said, they're burying up things from our past, from our childhood, and they're making new material out of it. So not only is it not as great as I remember, you're treading on my memories. And I'm not going to make the same memories now that I made as a child. My brain is completely different, you know, as an adult. So it's just a domino effect of just terrible, terrible idea. But from their perspective, their argument is the Bugs Bunny argument or the Mickey Mouse argument. Well, maybe if it's not made for you anymore, stop. Okay. Reasonable argument. They're not wrong. So obviously Mickey Mouse was a very early 20th century invention, you know, Steamboat Willie, all that kind of stuff. Walt Disney has been dead for a very, 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 very long time, but Mickey Mouse is still, you know, one of the most recognizable and money-making IPs on the planet. And, you know, it'd be 1 o'clock, folks. But yeah, so obviously the people who originally grew up with Mickey Mouse in the very early 20th century, they've been dead for ages. And then even their kids who grew up after that have been dead for ages. So how many generations into Mickey Mouse are we now? Let's see, the 19 teens into say the 20s or 30s. That's one generation. And then we'll say 40s, 50s, 60s. That's another generation. 70s, 80s, 90s. That's the third generation. 2000s. So we're a good 4, 5-ish generations away from the original generation that grew up with Mickey Mouse. And that works again for Bugs Bunny and Warner Brothers, not just Disney. So we're not the original people who the content was originally created for, but it's legacy content now. So it can be brought into the limelight and given to a new generation, kind of like passing the torch. So the question is the onus on us to put our beloved characters, toys, and memories away in a chest in the corner and know when to walk away? Is that on us? Or is the argument it's on the companies to stop marketing it to us? Because it would be one thing if they took something like Jurassic Park or, I don't know, Sonic the Hedgehog or whatever. It's one thing if they keep making new material and marketing for a new generation. But a lot of times these companies are trying to get as much money as they can from everybody. So they will willingly and purposely market it to me, a 40-year-old. And I have big issues with that, you know. If I'm not the target audience anymore, then leave me the fuck alone. Because I'm just trying to live my best life. And I already have enough stress as it is. I think Pokemon has been the most egregious. Hey, Happy New Year. You came in while I'm having a I'm having a moment. But it's good. This last day of the year. Let's get this out. Let's have this discussion. But I was watching this YouTuber the other day who doesn't really have anything to do with Pokemon. They're Gen Z, so they don't. Oh no, don't be sorry. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just giving you a heads up that I'm having a chat in case you're wondering why we're just standing next to the snowman. I'll get back to gameplay in just a second, but I want to get all this off my chest because it's been bothering me for a long time. I was watching this guy the other day, and Pokemon came up, and he started talking about season 1 of the anime, and it's one of those deals where you could tell he don't know shit about Pokemon. He maybe saw a little bit of the cartoon when he was a kid, and that always bothers me when people, whenever you say Pokemon to like a non-gamer or just a person out in the world, the first thought goes to that cartoon. And I loved season 1 for what it was back in the 90s. By today's standards, it's campy and it's bad. I love it because I grew up with it. But when I say Pokemon, it's the furthest thing in the universe that comes to my mind. I think more about the more modern material, more modern, the card games, the video games, the modern anime. That's what I think about when I think about Pokemon. So there's been a huge steady decline in the quality of Pokemon. And there's just a huge swath of the population that's in complete and total denial. I give you a prime example of that is Joe Merrick from Cerebi. He runs a good website. It's a very helpful, very useful website. But I think as far as human beings is concerned, he and I would probably butt heads too much to be friends. Like back before the fall of Twitter, I used to follow him on Twitter, and I find myself disagreeing with him more often than not. And now it's just as bad on Threads. Like lately, he's been defending these terrible Pokemon games, and he had posted something talking about how there's this whole thing on YouTube now. YouTubers have discovered that the algorithm really likes it when you bitch and complain about stuff. So there's this whole new wave of YouTubers coming along and making, here's 12 reasons why Pokemon whatever failed. Here's 13 reasons why you shouldn't buy this game. There's an entire goddamn channel called Before You Buy on YouTube, and I hate them. And I agree with him to an extent. Because that overwhelming negativity, like what happened in society? What happened that turned all of us into cynical critics? Like what happened to us? But at the same time, we're the consumer. We pay your bills. Doesn't that entitle us to some level of professionalism? To a good, decent product? Now, don't get me wrong, I still love Pokemon, but those last full of games on the Switch have just been complete ass and garbage. And I know that that's going to be polarizing and that's going to piss people off, but like, they're terrible. They're terrible. And I don't want them to be terrible. I want them to be good. But going back to the original reason I brought this up, whose responsibility is it? And I'm not being like rhetorical. I'm asking a real question because I want to gauge everybody else's opinion. I'm 41 years old now. Should I accept what some of the people are saying on Threads that maybe it's no longer made for me and maybe I should walk away? Or Should I still play the beloved franchise I grew up with and expect them to do better? Or is it perhaps option C, a little bit of both? Maybe if a bad Pokemon game comes out, I skip it and then go to the next one. But then the argument there is, if everyone is bad for like 5 games in a row, am I just done with Pokemon? So you guys let me know. And there are no wrong answers. I'm not going to yell at anybody. Just I'm very curious. And I'm using Pokemon as an example. This applies to every IP on the planet. At what point do you wake up one day and you're like, I don't like the way this show turned out. Well, I don't like the last movie in this series of movies. You know, when is it my responsibility to kind of walk away versus am I, you know, should I continue to hold out hope that things will turn around creatively and they'll start being good again? And then on top of that, as a content creator, I also need to realize people don't want to hear me bitch about it every time a new Pokemon game comes out. So it's either sit down and play it for what it is and shut the fuck up, or do I play it and bitch the whole way through it? And that's where I found myself in 2025. And that's kind of the epiphany that I've had. It's like, yeah, I'm not a big YouTuber. Really, nobody knows I even exist. But that shouldn't have any say in how I conduct myself on stream or in my videos. People aren't going to want to watch a rage-filled monster all the time. So I've got a very big decision to make in 2026. And that is what to do with terrible IP that I'm like emotionally invested in and attached to. It's like, well, what do you do when they break your heart over and over and over again? Like, I guess it's the same as like relationships. How long are you going to stay with somebody who's terrible for you? You know what I mean? Like, when are you going to get up and walk away from that bad relationship? And I think that's where I found myself now. You know, 2025 was a colossal disappointment for me as far as content was concerned. Oh, snap, a new one. We got a new fish. Hey, who'd we get that's new? Dab? We hadn't caught a dab yet. Oh, damn. I guess hanging around and running my mouth was really beneficial today. But, no, I really, really loved Jurassic World Rebirth. I thought it was fantastic. And I really didn't care that much for the other 3 Jurassic World movies. But I really liked Rebirth. And I think that the franchise might be heading in a new direction. But apparently, that's only an opinion that's shared by me and other, you know, Jurassic fans. I guess the general population might not have liked it as much. Although the box office says otherwise, just saying. God damn it. No, why can't I cut you? I'm terrible at this. I give up. It went away. Nope, it's still there. I just can't. There we go. Wouldn't it melt as soon as it went into my pocket? People can't make up their own opinions nowadays. They need to follow the popular opinions. I'm sick of these video game videos on YouTube. So the games, whatever reason, they just play it on their own. Maybe sick to YouTube. Yes, exactly. And that's kind of the thing I'm, you know, coming to the realization of lately. Because I'm having to click do not recommend channel on so many YouTube channels lately that show up in the recommended section. And it's just like, don't recommend, don't recommend, don't recommend, don't recommend. Because it's nonstop negativity. But then I'm guilty of doing the same thing. Because all these games that I want to love are just garbage. So then I become a huge hypocrite. You know what I mean? It's like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Now, I bought the Switch 2 when it first came out. I paid $600 for the damn thing, which rubbed me the wrong way. But it's a long-term investment. I mean, the Switch's life cycle was what, 8 years? Which is admittedly a long time for a console. They don't usually last that long. And again, I think a lot of that had to do with COVID. If COVID hadn't have been a thing, the Switch 2 probably would have came out a year or so sooner. But Nintendo saw an opportunity to, you know, because then everybody went into lockdown and Animal Crossing came out, everybody went ham, and it helped. It helped them. But I've played 3 Switch 2 games now, and I've been disappointed in all 3. Less disappointed in one of them, you know. I was tickled and over the moon for the new Mario Kart. I was like, I almost couldn't sleep the night before getting it, which is not something you do as an adult. I haven't felt that way in decades. I was so fucking into Mario Kart 8 this past year or so. I played it with my sister. I played it with strangers online. It got to be my nightly routine. When I'm done for the day, I've showered, I brushed my little teethies, and I'm ready to crawl into bed and vegetate right before you go to sleep. I'd always get on my Switch and play some Mario Kart 8. And then Mario Kart World came out, and I bought the bundle. And I kept wanting to like it. I kept forcing it and forcing it. I kept doing streams of Mario Kart World, and I kept forcing it. And then one day I just had to say, it's okay, Eric, to not like something. It's okay if you don't like it. Then Pokemon Legends ZA came out. And if you go back and look at all my streams from, you know, pre-DLC of it, I keep trying to force it. Even on stream. And again, all that's on my YouTube channel. You can go back and look at that playlist. I keep complaining about the detractors of the game. Like, my complaints weren't anything to do with the windows or the graphics or anything like that. I actually don't give a shit about any of that. Did I get on the bandwagon when Sword and Shield came out about the N64 trees looking ridiculous? I did. Because that was ridiculous. That was stupid. Sword and Shield looking the way it did, that was stupid. But then Violet and Scarlet came out, and I thought, wow, they really found a way to just not lower the bar, but bury it 100 yards under the ground. It made Sword and Shield look like the best games ever made by comparison. But yeah, I with some hindsight, and with ZA in the rearview mirror now, and especially with the DLC, it's a terrible game. And that's strike 2 for the Switch 2. Then Metroid Prime 3 comes out. Metroid Prime is my favorite game series of all time. I played the first 3 religiously. They're 10 out of 10s for me. They can do no wrong. So I'm biased. We've waited 18 years since 2007, you know, when Prime 3 was released. 10 years after that game was released, Nintendo comes out in 2017. They said, we're going to make Metroid Prime 4. Woo! I was over the moon. Could barely contain myself. Then after a couple of years of just fucking radio silence on their part, they finally come out and say, yeah, we scrapped the entire development. It's not going the way we wanted. We're scrapping it. We're starting over from scratch. A lot of people were pissed. Not me. I said, you know what? This is good. It means that that tells me there's quality control involved. That tells me that they are recognizing the product does not meet their standards and they're doing the right thing. Just like with GTA 6. If you need to delay it another 5 years, fucking do it. Because I know you're going to give everybody a fantastic game. You know they are. So I thought nothing of it when Prime 4 went back to the drawing board and started over. But we've waited nearly a decade now. And we finally get our hands on it. And I'm sitting there with egg on my face and I'm like, what is this? Because on the surface, it is a Metroid Prime game and I like it. The music is there. The graphics are there. It looks good for a Switch 2 game. Still doesn't quite look as good as Metroid Prime Remastered, but it looks decent enough. When you go out of the desert area, which is garbage, and you go into the actual areas of each stage, the lava world, the ice world, or whatever, those are great. That's a great experience. Level designs are good. The atmosphere is fantastic. I love reading the scans and the logs. It's a Metroid Prime game. But some of the drawbacks is that it's entirely too short. I've played the game for a few weeks and I'm almost done with it. And that's with taking giant breaks in between each session and playing other stuff. And that desert. Why the desert doesn't even need to be in the game. It makes no sense. It's not even like, I've heard people online bitch about it in the same way they bitched about Wind Waker's Ocean. Wind Waker's Ocean was fun. Wind Waker's Ocean was full of stuff. There was something in almost every single square panel of Wind Waker's Ocean. That desert in Metroid Prime 4 is a big, vast, open world of butt-fuck nothing. So, first 3 Switch 2 games I've played have failed to meet my expectations. And Pokemon has kind of been just stabbing me in the heart now for a while. So again, I asked the question, at which point, you know, is the onus on me to walk away? When should I walk away? It's like, am I doing it to myself? Or, you know. All right, we ended up with 3 snowflakes, 1 new fish during all of that. Let's go donate the fish. The graphics in Scarlet and Violet were way better than Sword and Shield. Maybe. I don't know that I agree with that. Scarlet and Violet just had nothing. It was just giant open expanses of nothing. Bugs, glitches, terrible glitches. Story was horrible. A lot of ways, it's the fast food argument. You know, I've heard people say this to people who eat fast food. It's like, it's your own fault. You can't go to McDonald's and then bitch about it later in the day that you went to McDonald's. You went there. Nobody twisted your arm. You went there. You bought the food. You ate it. Now you're bitching. But again, you know, given the state of the world, given the state of everything in the United States, again, I'm hesitant to say it can't get any worse. Because every day, these jackasses find a way to make it worse. We live in a cartoon. And I don't know how to get out. But, yeah, it's good that we're having this conversation today. Because like I said, going forward, one of my New Year's resolutions is to kind of curtail this behavior on my end. Have less rants, less anger problems. Have less of these conversations where we're all kind of agreeing with each other. It's an echo chamber at the end of the day if you're watching me, honestly. I want to do less of that, and I want to do more focusing on the positive. I want to be happy out. I'm tired of being a miserable sack of shit. You know, I want my little community here to be a happy place for people to come and enjoy whatever we're doing and not have to worry about the outside world. So, but I thought that I would give it one last go today. I didn't really plan to sit down and have this conversation. It just kind of happened. But it's good we're having it. No, I don't want to do flea market. No. God damn it. I want to talk to you. Oh, yeah, we found a can. We've made a shitload of money today. Well, I think that might be about all there is to do today. What do you guys think? New Horizons, in your opinion, was a letdown? How so? I really like New Horizons. I didn't have a problem with it. I was on the fence for a while about the crafting stuff. I really wasn't a fan of your tools breaking, but nothing in New Horizons rubbed me the wrong way enough to bitch about it like I've been bitching about Pokemon today. And then too, I'll tell you what else is stressful as a content creator. You worry about polarizing your audience. You worry about, like, is this opinion going to chase away everybody? You know, am I going to lose a ton of subscribers by sharing this opinion? Oh, getting all these burps. You know, I do worry about that sometimes, you know, because I'm very opinionated. I'm mouthy. I'm opinionated. I'm loud. And I do have my moments where I'm worried that if I say the wrong thing or piss off the wrong person, they're either going to unsubscribe, which is the best case scenario, or they're going to turn to troll and be just very annoying. And, you know, and that'll be a pain in the ass to deal with. So you never know. I should have came to the aquarium to do all that talking. That would have been the smart thing to do, Eric. But, yeah, this is, I guess this is it. This is our last stream of 2025. Unless you count tonight's Patreon stream. I hope everybody had a good 2025. It was more or less about the same as 2024 for me. It full of the same bullshit, so. But what can you do? You won't be watching it for a year. That's true. You won't see my ass until next year. I will while I have you guys here. I don't know how many people are still watching after all that, but for the new people who might have come in, I do stream here on Twitch, but everything goes up on YouTube. So if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, head over to the YouTube and subscribe, because that's my main platform. And I would really love to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's just been my lifetime goal on the channel, and I can't get there no matter how hard I try. I really can't. I'm on Instagram and Threads. We got the Discord if anybody wants to join the Discord. Other than that, Happy New Year, everybody. You're going to party and drink and everything, go for it. Maybe do a little smoking, smoke you some weed, whatever your vice is. Have some fun. Do it responsibly. If you're driving, even if you don't drink at all or do anything, do me a favor. When you're driving, not just today, tonight, but for the next few days and over this next weekend, just because people linger, people will work through the week and then get drunk and celebrate New Year's on the weekend because they had to work when it actually happened. When you get to a stop sign or you get to a red light, take an extra 2 or 3 seconds and hesitate. You know, you've stopped. It's your turn to go. You've looked both ways. You're about to go. Wait, just take 2 or 3 extra seconds. I promise you on every fiber of my being, one day this advice will be the most valuable advice you've ever been given in your life. And it'll help you see old age. All right. Happy New Year, everybody.